Hey everybody out there, Chris and Mike here, and welcome back to this week's Dark Avenger comic book review. Really quick, because I was rushed off of this because we were at 28 minutes. Avenging Spider-Man's been okay. Once again, most of the characters that he works with, though, that he teams up with, are out of character half the time. I think that the writing staff really needs to do their research with their characters before they actually do a comic book where he's teaming up with someone, because some of the characters, especially She-Hulk and Hawkeye and a few other characters, were very out of character, and they all just hate Spider-Man, and that's not true. If you read the Avenger books, they're pretty okay with Spider-Man, and I think that the whole shtick where, okay, you're teaming up with somebody who really doesn't like you except for Captain Marvel, yeah, it's getting a bit old, which maybe they moved away from since Captain Marvel was pretty okay with being with Peter, you know, being with Spider-Man, so maybe they're moving away from that. But that was kind of irritating up until this point. And Captain America, the Captain America team up, he didn't seem like he didn't want to be with Spider-Man. Avengers Academy is no longer tethered to AVX. It's on its own now again, and it's issue 34, final exam, part 1 of 4. There's a cure. This man makes a cure, and he's able to cure Hazard. I believe her name is Hazard. I'm so glad for the index at the front of the books. He's able to Hazmat. I'm sorry. He's able to cure cure Hazmat and Metal, but it turns out he has his own agenda, and of course, a sick, twisted agenda. And even the people who didn't want to, you know, be cured, they are cured because they're basically breathing in all the cure. Basically, it's like an air spray thing, and a lot of them are cured, but a few of them aren't cured. And yeah, it doesn't look good for the Avengers Academy students
with the side effect.
But some students, however, turncoat at the end of this issue and choose to be on this guy's side because either they were cured by him, or they, yeah, basically because they were cured by him. So they're like, we're with you. And he's like, good, let's go. And it turns out the Avenger students that aren't on his side didn't exactly make it out so well at the end of this issue. We'll see what happens next. It doesn't bode well. Basically, here you go. Here's Metal and Hazmat out of their suits. Or, well, Metal actually has his human form back, and Hazmat actually has the ability to be outside of her suit now. We'll see where this story goes. As it says, it's final exam. I'm wondering if that means basically the school's basically closed right now because this is taking place still around AVX. However, it's not tied into AVX anymore, so it's on its own. It's in its own entity now again. It's doing its own stories. Really good. I'm enjoying it. At some point, I might actually go back to when X-23 joined Avengers Academy, when it was the second class, because it looks really good, and I feel bad that I actually left. I really haven't looked into this as much as I should have. Thank you guys for suggesting this book to me. I'm really enjoying it. The artwork's really fun, and the storyline is really interesting. I can't wait to see what's actually going to happen next. Okay. Invincible Iron Man 522, The Future, Part 2. Tony Stark operates on Stane, and it looks like he's really just trying to fix what Stane's father did to him. However, it turns out there's an ulterior motive to the operation. The operation is more of a ruse, so to speak. You're going to have to read the issue to see what it's about. Also, we have the new Iron Man versus the Detroit Steel Corps, and Rescue actually comes to, ironically, Iron Man's rescue. So it's the Iron Man versus the Detroit Steel Corps, and Mandarin has a little bit of a talk with Tony Stark, and he talks about when his whole basic origin, how he got his rings and stuff, and how in the rings it's not just power. It turns out there's souls in there, and they're ready to come back to Earth. And this issue is crazy for action and stuff like that. And I'm looking forward to what happens next, especially because of the next cover.
Wow.
Enough said. I'm really looking forward to seeing where this is going next. There's only 4 more issues, I believe, until the ending, the reboot, where they're going to renumber Iron Man again for the fourth time now, maybe?
I think he said the fourth time.
I believe it's the fourth time. And it's really good, guys. If you have, to be honest though, don't jump into the future. Because if you go an issue back and you start reading from the beginning of this story arc, you're going to be lost. Because 2 story arcs back led into this 3rd story arc. You have to go several issues back. My opinion, if you have not been reading Iron Man right along, wait, let the series end, and then when Marvel Now starts, start collecting from issue 1. Because if you start reading from the future part 1, you're going to be like, how is Tony Stark captured? How is Mandarin in control of Tony Stark? Because that's what happened in the last story arc. It ended the last story arc where Tony Stark was taken by Mandarin. So, you're going to be lost. If you've been reading, you know it's really great. I must say Iron Man's really good. If you want to trade paperback this is why I'm making the suggestion. If you want to trade paperback the past 2 story arcs up to this point, it's really good. Invincible Iron Man had its up and down moments since its relaunch a couple of years ago. The whole Resilient thing knocked me off. I didn't want to read because of the Stark Resilient thing. After Fear itself, I kind of like drifted away from Iron Man. Came back, I believe, a year later, and it's really good again. So I would definitely say check out Iron Man. Another really good series, Daredevil, The Man Without Fear, issue number 16. The whole issue is about the operation that Tony Stark and Ant-Man and Doctor Strange perform on Daredevil to try to save his life. I will spoil this because it has to continue forward. It works, and Daredevil's okay. However, there is a shocking ending that I'm not going to give away, but basically, let me put it this way. This shocking ending basically separates Matt from Foggy forever. Matt basically leaves the firm, and it's just Nelson, not Nelson and Murdoch anymore. And now basically, Matt Murdock has to get back on his feet. Basically, Foggy says, get help, or else you're done. Until then, Nelson and Murdoch are through. So, I'm looking forward for the next story, the next issue. Really good, shocking ending that you guys have to read. It was wow. I can't believe it. I'll talk about it probably during the live show on Dark Avenger, on the Avenger cast for Dark Avenger Inc. If you want to see what happened at the end of this, or wait until the next issue where they're probably going to capitalize on it, and I'll tell you guys there. I want you guys to read this issue, which is why I'm going to leave out the last page, which was a shocker. You have to be reading Daredevil. I, in a million years, would have never thought, if you would have told me 2 years ago I'd be reading Daredevil, I wouldn't have believed you. And I'm so glad I was proven wrong, and I actually did enjoy this series. I bought it saying I'm not going to like it probably, and I really enjoy it. I highly recommend this book. Let's get into a number 1. 2 number 1s. First number 1, both are minis by the way. Before Xavier's Dream, there were the first X-Men, issue 1. And this issue obviously takes place before Weapon X because Wolverine has his bone claws still. Basically, Wolverine is sent by a friend through war to see his son because his son has mutant powers. So he sends Wolverine to, he asks Wolverine for help to try to get his kid, you know, the help he needs because they're the same. And then Wolverine starts to get to thinking, and he's like, he gets Sabretooth, he's like, we gotta open up a school, we gotta protect these kids because, you know, there's people out there that are trying to experiment and capture our kind. And of course Sabretooth was like, this is what you set me for at first, and Wolverine's like, I'll pay you, I'll do whatever it takes. I mean, didn't you wish there was somebody around when you were a kid? And basically, long story short, Sabretooth says yes. They go to the lab where the son was taken, and the son is thought to be dead at the moment. And Wolverine and Sabretooth basically go in to get the files of a couple of mutants, and it turns out that one of them is about to be captured, so Wolverine and Sabretooth hot-tail it over to the mutant and end up saving the day, of course. Neil Adams' artwork is really good. Charles Xavier makes an appearance at the end of the book. As said during our live show, we did talk about this. And it turns out Charles Xavier is quite the opposite of the way he is now. He doesn't want to be bothered. He's like, I'm human. I don't need to be bothered with this. He's like, yeah, well, I just spoke to you through my mind and you read my mind. So you're really not that good. You better you need to get a lot better at hiding in plain sight. So this gets Charles Xavier thinking, and then their next stop, Wolverine's next stop, is Magneto. Because since Charles Xavier won't help him, he's got to look for somebody, so he thinks that maybe Magneto will help him. To be continued in the next book. Lots of stuff I left out, though, in this book that happened throughout the middle of the book. You are definitely going to want to read this. Did I show artwork? I did not show artwork. That's what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I showed a little bit. I wanted to show one good page, at least, of Wolverine and Sabretooth. It was really, I enjoyed it. I'm not going to say like it's really, really awesome yet. I'm just going to say that it definitely has potential. I don't like that Neil Adams drew Wolverine to look like he has fangs throughout most of this book. From the top and bottom, he looked like he had fangs.
Yeah, why
I mean, that's not Wolverine.
That?
Wolverine has regular teeth like everybody else. I mean, seriously. Sabretooth has fangs.
I hope they're making him into, like, one of those, you know.
No, it's just Neil Adams has a very special way of drawing. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, there's one.
Here's Wolverine and Sabretooth. It has a free digital download code because it's a $3.99 book. I leave it up to you guys, but it's really good. I would say give it a shot. I enjoyed it. I'll be back for issue 2, and we'll see where it goes from there. It's only, I believe, a 6-part mini. Next up, DeadPool kills the Marvel Universe #1. We talked about this also during the live show. Title says it all. Deadpool kills the Marvel U. In the beginning of the book, it's Deadpool killing the Fantastic Four. The X-Men try to get him some help, and they take him to this guy who turns out to be Dr. Psycho, who basically goes into Deadpool's head and kills off his 2 voices. And if you don't know what his 2 voices are, basically the yellow box and the white box, and replaces it, Psycho Man, sorry, and replaces it with this weird red box only voice. And this voice has only one intention: kill everyone and don't stop. And basically, the next issue, and in this issue, quite ironically, at the very end, Deadpool kills even the Watcher.
What? Are you serious?
And he says, whoever's watching, you're gonna want to see what's next. They're gonna want to watch the world burn. In the next issue, Deadpool versus the Avengers.
Wow, I thought nobody would kill the Watcher. That's just a shock.
Yeah, that's kind of the shocker at the end of the book. Reading this book, I was 50-50 on whether I wanted to keep this or not. I did read issue 2, and issue 2 definitely picked up a lot. So, as opposed to, being like off of just the first issue alone, guys, this book sold out of stores. Mike, Spider Slayer, and I were talking about it. No more #1s on shelves. If you find a #1 of Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe first printing, I would absolutely grab it, because they're not releasing another printing of this either. They're not releasing any more copies, so it'll go straight to second printing. And issue 2s were going off the stand like crazy also. A lot of people love Deadpool, and I'll tell you one thing though, he's not the funny, quirky Deadpool. He's just the psycho, crazy, I'm gonna kill everybody, kind of sick, twisted Deadpool in this book. Yes.
I was just gonna say, it's funny how the Watcher appears in this, because he appears in What If comic.
Yeah, basically he appears in all the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, but I thought only in the What If books.
This is a What If book. This is what if Deadpool killed the Marvel Universe. It's an alternate universe.
Okay.
So, really good book. I would definitely say check it out if you can find it in stores. The first issue's you'll see in the next episode how it actually does pick up in the next issue of Deadpool Kills the Marvel U.
Okay, last comic book from Marvel, X Factor, Breaking Points Day 1, issue number 241.
By the end of this story arc, X Factor will never be the same.
That's right.
I only say this because I read it in the Marvel preview book.
In this book, the 3 villains come back: Deathlock, Dormammu, and I always forget that other guy's name. But basically, they come back, and they're trying to formulate a plan of how to get Jamie Madrox back, because they had that fight.
Oh, there's Dormammu.
Yeah.
Show the first page.
Yanara. Or Yanora. Yeah. These are the people. Yeah. I don't know how high or low I have to show these things, but yeah.
Mike, you're showing it over here. There's no camera there.
Yeah. So anyway, there's just lots of talking about the whole Mercy that was going on issues back. They see that the name just doesn't hit me. That Rennie Sinclair, who's the werewolf, like she's seen at Central Park, and Jamie and hold on. Havoc, thank you, Havoc. They see her at Central Park, and Guido has a funny feeling that it's not a real thing, it's a trap, and thus it is. They fight the supervillains, and yeah. There's a little moment that Guido and Monet have where he calls Guido something very, very offensive, and he says, "The hell with X Factor, and the hell with you," and he meets up with somebody at the end, and yeah. The way Guido's path is going, oh boy. That can only mean many things for the X Factor and the team and Guido himself. But really interesting, guys. The team's going in different ways, and
by the end of this series, I hear the team's going to be basically split. The roster's going to be split in half.
I know. That's
So we'll
kind
see.
of the point that I'm gonna say, like, wow, like it's really something.
They'll put new characters in it probably during Marvel.
Oh yeah, probably that. But really great read, guys. You should actually pick it up and remember some characters as I don't. In that, very interesting too, though.
The last #1 of this week, Hawkeye #1. It's kind of ironic that it was released the same week as Green Arrow.
Yeah, and the page actually kind of.
Really awesome. This book was really good, and if you're looking for the first issue to be about Hawkeye, no, it's not. It's about more. It starts off with him as Hawkeye, of course, but it actually goes more in depth with the Clint Barton side of Hawkeye. He's really not Hawkeye in this book, and it jumps back and forth from the present and past. Turns out a dog had gotten hurt while Hawkeye was trying to help out this. It's basically an apartment complex that's being run by this guy who basically does shady work. So Hawkeye comes in to try to save the day, and in the end, basically, there's this huge fight that breaks out, and he's still Clint Barton. He never puts on the Hawkeye suit. He uses, I love it. He uses all these different things to instead of arrows. Like in this panel, he uses a playing card as a weapon, and then later on he uses a quarter to kind of veer a car out of the way, and unfortunately that's what led into the dog getting hit. And turns out in the end, though, he gets the dog. He actually takes the dog, and it's funny, the dog's collar says Arrow, and Hawkeye's like, I'll come up with something better. So he's then going to end up keeping the dog. Next issue is going to it's going to take off a new story arc. This was basically your standard intro video. The artwork was, I thought the artwork was going to deter me from this book. It actually did the opposite. The artwork's pretty okay. I didn't think I'd like it, but, you know, as you read the book, you get used to the artwork, and it's pretty good. I'm okay with it. I'm not saying I love it.
Before, the story matters.
I'm not saying I love it, but I definitely like it. I would definitely suggest you guys give this a try. I left out a bunch of stuff in between and a lot of important facts. This is a one-issue story, though. So for those of you who are like, oh, what happens if I missed issue 1 and it's sold out? Don't worry about it. The next issue is going to start up a whole new story arc. Don't worry, but I would say check this out if you do find it. It's really good. I enjoyed it a lot, and it definitely hooked me to the series. Let's hope it continues to be this way for many months and, dare I say, years to come if Hawkeye makes it to that point, especially because he has to get through Marvel now and survive, which I think Hawkeye will, as long as he gets a good story and he continues to get good artwork. Avengers Versus X-Men, round 9.
With the Avenger cover.
Spider-Man, yes, this is the Avenger team cover. Spider-Man versus Colossus of Magic, and wow, how it ends. It's like Spider-Man doesn't win by brute strength, he wins by brains, basically.
He finally uses brains? What?
Shut up.
No, because sometimes he doesn't.
Don't make me hurt you. Other unique... I'm not going to give away the book. I'm going to bullet some points. Things to take note to for those of you who are reading AVX. Cyclops and Emma Frost have a talk, and Emma Frost is basically losing control. She actually says here, I'm worried about what I might do next. Please stop me, Scott. And Scott's like, just get yourself together and we got work to do. There's a moment between Storm and Black Panther which no one's going to want to miss about their marriage and where it's going or not going. The Avengers break into, I forgot what it's called, but Magic's domain where she has the other Avengers trapped and save.
Yeah, that's what's called the Hell Domain, I think.
The Hell Domain, and they save their fellow Avengers, and that's where the whole Spider-Man, Colossus, and Magic thing happens. And basically Spider-Man uses his wit to outwit Colossus and Magic after getting the hell beaten out of him, basically, as you can see in these panels here. And he basically convinces them that, you know, now Namor fell and the power went to everybody. Who's to say in a little bit longer that won't happen again? Aren't you guys? And then basically he convinces both of them to fight, and they both knock each other out. And both of their Phoenix forces go to the last two X-Men left. Emma Frost and Cyclops. And it ends with Cyclops showing up at Kunlun, or however you pronounce it, and he wants to take he wants to take Hope home. To be continued.
Wow.
A lot of stuff happened in this book that you guys definitely don't want to miss. I'm enjoying Avengers Versus X-Men. I'm looking forward more to what's to come next in the Marvel U after Avengers Versus X-Men. However, it was announced during AVX Consequences, there is a funeral for Marvel Universe, one of Marvel Universe's greatest superheroes. So somebody's going to die who didn't see it coming. Every major event, a superhero dies, and then he's eventually going to come back, or she is eventually going to come back. So I'm not even caring at this point who dies, because I know at some point, it may be 12 years down the line, it may be 2 years down the line, it may be 1 year. In the case of Bucky, Thor, and a few other... No, Thor took a few months. Thor took a few months.
Human Torch took, I think, a year.
Human Torch took a year.
Yeah.
They're gonna come back. I'm really enjoying AVX though, guys. They're gonna come back. Whoever dies is definitely going to, at some point, maybe 20 years down the line. We don't know when, but we know it will happen. We just don't have the destination in time of when it'll happen, unless it's Cyclops. And the Cyclops from the past coming to the future is going to be the new Cyclops.
That could be right.
And then I don't think the death will be undone, because then there'll be like a replacement. Kind of like Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler died, and now the Age of Apocalypse Nightcrawler is there, and there's also Kid Nightcrawler in the Extreme X-Men. So there's a lot of Nightcrawlers still to go around. So I hope that the original Nightcrawler at some point, though, does come back.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for that. And what I'm really looking into is the original Juggernaut, Kane, is going to be in an issue of X-Men. I believe it's X Factor.
That's what I...
Yeah, I believe the Juggernaut's going to show up. The first Juggernaut. The first Juggernaut.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. I was reading it in the Marvel previews. I'll go through it again and let you know.
Yeah, I gotta see that.
But guys, I would definitely say be on top of this. I would say it's an up to you thing, but guys, I'm really enjoying it. I think it's okay. I mean, dare I say, a lot of huge comic book entrepreneurs are going to be like, we've seen this before, or something like this has happened before, it's not really good, this and that is wrong. As a reader only, you know, if I was just a reader, it's obvious, since I'm up to issue 9 already on these reviews, that I'm still reading it and still enjoying it. I find this series really good. It's the lead up to the new Marvel Universe and Marvel's big cash in, because they're going to be selling a lot of books, obviously, and making a lot of money. But DC did it last year, Marvel's doing it this year. I think the end of this year and the beginning of next year is going to be the months of Marvel, basically.
Like the best year.
2012 is going to end it's going to be Marvel's year, I think, with the Marvel Now and everything.
Well, the way they're going with their books and stuff, absolutely.
I think with issue 12s and zeros being out for DC, Marvel's still going to possibly, don't quote me and don't say I'm being particular, I'm saying possibly sweep DC's New 52 under the rug.
Did they show the new logo for Marvel Now?
No, the logo's staying the same, actually.
Oh, it's not going to be like Marvel Now?
It's going to say Marvel Now, but the Marvel logo, like this, is staying the same.
Oh, because I thought they were going to change it. Well, it's only a few months, so yeah.
I think Marvel Now, the logo will be that way for maybe a year, and then it'll kind of just stream right back into the Marvel
Yeah, that's
logo
what I was kind of...
at some point.
Thinking, yeah.
I'm looking forward to Marvel Now. I'm enjoying this. I leave it up to you guys. A lot of people are saying a lot of the issues are hit and miss. This was a definite hit, though. I'm sorry. Especially with the Spider-Man moment, this was a definite hit, in my opinion. And that's it for this week, or last week's books. Hopefully I'll get through this week's books really soon.
Yep. So
okay, Mike. Mike's going to take the camera now for sure, because he's going to be doing, we're going to be doing running down, and please tell me I have time.
25 minutes
and
53 seconds.
Let's go. Before, I don't want to run through this like I always do. I apologize, guys, for running through this like this. Avengers Versus X-Men Round 9 or Issue 9, really good. I'd definitely say you should be on top of this. Hawkeye Issue 1 was really good. I'd highly recommend you guys check out at least Issue 1. X-Factor 241.
Great issue. Can't wait to see the next one.
DeadPool kills the Marvel Universe is out of stands. That definitely says something, guys. I was 50-50 with Issue 1. Issue 2 was really good. We'll talk about that in the next episode. The first X-Men, I say give it a try, guys. Issue 1 was pretty good. Daredevil issue 16, still going strong. The Invincible Iron Man 522, The Future, still going really good. If you've been collecting it, definitely check it out. If not, wait till Iron Man starts up again in Marvel Now. Don't jump into this story. You're going to kind of be lost. Avengers Academy issue 34, really good. Enjoying the first parts of the new story arc. Avenging Spider-Man issue 10, predictable. Okay, leave it up to you guys. Peter Parker, Spider-Man issue 156.1. Once again, up to you guys. I'm one of those people that likes Spider-Man, so I'm going to be picking up all the points. Swamp Thing issue 12 as well as Animal Man issue 12. Both books I highly recommend. Very few books I highly recommend from DC, but definitely check them out. Green Arrow 12.
Awesome issue. Can't wait to see the origin and the next one.
Action 12 I leave up to you guys. To me it exists. I can't recommend or not recommend the book as always. Smallville issue 4, really, really good. It's season 11. The first episode is officially done now. I'd say check it out. Justice League International issue 12. Really sad to see it go. However, I'm glad there's at least going to be an annual before the whole series ends. Earth 2 issue 4 is going pretty okay. Up to you guys. Night Owl issue 2, really good. One of my favorite before Watchmen series. And Transformers Regeneration 1 issue 82. Really good. You should be checking it out. Love the Dinobots. Love especially Grimlock. So I'm very happy with Regeneration 1. Well, guys, if you enjoyed this video, show YouTube you liked it by giving it a favor, because I don't do thumbs up and down due to troll activity and other stupid stuff like that there. My advice to YouTube is get rid of the thumbs down and do what Facebook and Google Plus does. Just give the thumbs up or nothing at all. Also, there's a subscribe button above this video. If you haven't already subscribed, please do, to this channel and Dark Avenger Inc., because big things, humongous things are coming soon. I love comments on this part and last part. Likes, dislikes, questions. Please feel free to leave comments. I love them. I love answering them, especially the questions. So leave as many and as long of a comment as you like. Till next time, guys, take care. Keep reading, keep collecting. This is Chris, Dark Avenger C86, signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed this Dark Avenger comic book review.
And keep watching.
We'll be back really soon with this week's comic books, I hope, by the beginning of next week. Take care, everybody. See you guys real soon.
Later, guys.